So for the health article, what it talked about was when you have the flu, when should you go to the hospital, and it gave some warning signs or the symptoms that you should have when you had the flu. If you have to go to the ER, and that is if you have if you have dizziness, vomiting, loss of consciousness, loss of body feeling, or loss of body feeling, and then but then also said that if you have symptoms that are not as severe, then you should waste your time going to the ER, because you get even more sick than you should or want to even be. And so if you have these symptoms such as like a cough, if you have a diarrhea or some diarrhea, or if you're coughing or sweating a lot, then even at that point in the game, it's better to stay home and try to go to the doctor, because that way you will have to go to the hospital and get sick from people who are even more sick than you are. So and in recent years, the occurrence of flu-related deaths has been low, but in the past couple of years has risen. I assume because people have no idea when it is okay to go to the doctor. Well, the article says when you should. So there you go. And for an update on the book, so Howard managed to kill the finger that was growing longer at its height. It was 7 inches, but he bought a pair of electric hedge clippers from a store and used them to sort of cut the finger off one by one. But his neighbor heard a noise and he asked him what was going on, and he called the cops on him, and the police came, but it was after Howard had won the battle. He won the battle and the war, and the cop actually went in, saw the horrifying bloody battle that was in the bathroom. He found Howard curled up in a corner between the bathtub and the sink, and he asked Howard if he killed his wife V, but he said no. But the cops still arrested him for, I guess, being in that bloody scene. Just then the cop heard a sound, that sound from the toilet, and then but Howard said, "I wouldn't do that if I was you. I wouldn't even try to see what's going on in there." But the cop did, and that is the story ended. But I assume that bad things happened to him too. And then the next story is about a kid, a young kid who was working with a sort of record producer, Mr. on an album for this band called the Deadbeats, and every single day he goes to the bathroom and does his duty, and he sees a pair of white sneakers, Reebok sneakers, but he found that they were covered in flies and insects, and so the guy that's in the stall, the bathroom stall, is dead. He can only assume, and one day when he was one day when he was having lunch with his producer friend, his friend grabbed his John Tell's crotch. Basically, he thought that Tell was gay, but he's not. But he was, and so that really made him uncomfortable, and he didn't feel okay the next day. So far a pretty interesting story, and the story is called Sneakers, for obvious reason. That's all I have for today.